when was the first time you drank alcohol? That's an interesting question.
First time? No, I'll never forget. Was I was four. Well, like properly drank. I mean, there could have been a chance where I swiped like a sip of booze or something. You know how it is when you're with cousins, and then it's like, ooh, look here, they left a bit of wine or something. Like, smell it, taste it, and you're like, you know, like that could have happened already when I was 11, 12. But 14, um, I was there was someone at the school who had a party, and I went, right? And none of my closest circle was there, but I knew the girl. They knew me. Everyone. It's from the school, right? We're a relatively small school at the time, um, and I showed up. I'd been invited, but I think it was like forgotten that I would come, right? And then I came alone, as out of my group of friends, because I was a bit nerdy. I was nerdy, right? I was in the in more nerdy group. Lots of sports, but nerds, right? Um, Pokemon, Magic, whatever. Talking about like latest science news and stuff like that. And I went there, and I'll never forget. The one girl was like, "Oh, Nguni's here," like really surprised. And then I just started. It was amazing. It's a beautiful house, bro. It's like a triple story there in Cape Town. You know, like you can see the whole city and like the sea in the distance a bit. And and I didn't even spend that much time with my schoolmates, but there was another group of kids who were there. You could tell they're not from our school. They're already smoking weed. They're already doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And they just started pouring vodka for me, and I was drinking there with them. And we just started talking. Like I just started hanging out with them, talking with them. I could immediately tell like these kids are way naughtier than me. Like we're the same age, but these kids are way naughtier. Um, they were like South African kids, right? South African white kids. And and we were these clean laced kind of I told you it was the German school, so it's like we're in South Africa, but we're not in South Africa kind of thing. The way that
Yeah,
we behaved and everything, and I think the guy even like gave me a pipe of weed or something like that, and I just like smoked this metal pipe.
crazy.
So like all in one night, and it was a blast, man. And that was the first time when I really um drank, and uh very interesting time. A very interesting time. That was my first time.
So okay, well, I'll
What was your
also
first
say
time?
mine.
Yeah, say it.
Okay. Oh, thanks for asking. No, I'm joking. No, so I remember the first time I ever sipped something very clearly. It was like basically down the road, and so I was pure, dude, probably 8, 9 years old, and my friend he was younger than me, and so
How
the
old?
way I who him.
You.
Oh, I was like 8, 9 years old,
Yes. Okay.
and my friend was like 6.
What the
And
flip? Okay.
yeah,
Continue.
so the way I like grew up was you walk straight into your friends' houses. Um, so I walk up to the gate, I open the gate, I shout at the dogs, I close the gate, the main gate, or I even just jump over. You open the front door and you walk in. You greet the parents and stuff,
Mm.
and then you walk to your friend's room. That's how we grew up. All the kids in the neighborhood, you
Yeah,
would
I
basically
remember
do
that
that.
as well. You could even get into your friend's house and you realize no one's here. Like, what the heck? And then you
Exactly.
try to chill a few minutes and then you leave.
Yeah.
Good old days. Anyway.
It's yeah. And so basically I walk in there and I go through the back door because sometimes, you'd go through the back door or you go through the front door. So this time I went through the back door, which goes straight into the kitchen. So I walk into the kitchen and his dad leaves, like leaves the house. So I'm in the kitchen there, and he's standing there, but the dad had been drinking a Vintuk, a beer,
Mm.
and there was like it was a can, and there was still like a little bit left in it, and he left it there on the kitchen counter, and my friend just casually walks up to it, and like he takes a sip, and then he passes it to me, and I'm standing there and I'm thinking, okay, I know this is a beer, and I know I'm not supposed to be drinking it. And I took a sip, dude, and I was like, I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life, dude. Um, so that was the first time I actually tasted alcohol. Um, and that's why for a very long time, I was like, why would anybody drink beer? It's
Yeah.
so disgusting. But then the first time I ever like drank was weird. I was with my friend, and this is when I would go hang out in the colored community. So I was in grade 6. So I was like 10 or 11, however old you are in grade 6. Uh, yeah, 10 or 11 or something like that. And I'm talking about wasted. Like, that's what I mean by getting, like, the first time I drank like that. We get dropped at a youth. It's a Friday, and we're in the colored community. And he says, "Oh, there's this girl there that's his girlfriend or something." And so his parents drop us off there. We go to this thing. We even got tickets. Like a ticket was like 10 rand, so cheap, but you're still buying entry to this thing. But all we did was we went in, and we got these like three girls, and then from there we start walking. Now I'm new to these things because I'm not from those neighborhoods. I live in the suburbs, the white neighborhood, and obviously I can immediately tell that this is fishy. We were
Yeah.
dropped here, but now we're leaving, and you've told the lady, "Oh, we're going to be back and stuff," and then we just now, and we've been walking so far, and it's nighttime, and I'm thinking, and I'm nervous because there's girls here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's gonna happen here? And then I was even thinking, oh, one of these girls, my girlfriend. Oh man, it's so pathetic. Um, and so, dude, we walk into a crowded street, which reminded me of the place where I first started off, which was also a colored community, where everybody would just be in the street at night,
Mm.
and there's a lot of stuff going on that could be, bad as well. And but so we walk into a road, and there's a bunch of older kids, and they talking about buying a bottle. And I was like, wait, what? Like, are we gonna be drinking? We had to give the money to the older kid, and this guy's like 14, 15, so that they can go get us a bottle of brandy.
Dude, I
And
have a
so
similar
now
story.
my heart is pounding, dude. I'm thinking, what? Um, did I swear they were even having a dog fight like close by? And they're listening to music out of the cars, and it was a rough time. But then we finally get the bottle. We get a Coca Cola. Oh, they gave us a Coca Cola as well and ice. And my heart is pounding, dude. And I'm walking, and we get to the girl's house, and she takes the bottle and she puts it through her back gate, right? And then we walk through the front of the house with the Coca Cola and the ice blocks. And we say hello to her parents. And then um, the mother was like, "Oh, are you guys going to go sit in the back?" And we said, "Yes." Well, I never said anything. I was quiet.
I can see
Get
you just the
glasses and,
quiet figure in the back
yeah,
there.
just like,
Mischief, bro. Anyway, continue.
and then, so we go to the yard, and it's quite a big yard. So we can kind of walk off a little bit further from the house, and we take the glasses out, and we all sit down there. They've got like there's let's just say there's chairs and there's seats outside where you can sit. It's not luxury or anything like that. And we grab the bottle from the gate and we start pouring, dude. And I remember taking that first sip of that brandy and coke, and I was like, I remember everybody laughed because I looked at it and I looked up at them and I said, "Is this alcohol?" Like I was shocked that it could taste so good because of my experience with the
Yeah.
beer, like literally 2 3 years before that. And dude, I got so wasted, bro. And the biggest giveaway was I never spoke, right, to anybody's parents or anything like that. I was always quiet. Like you couldn't get a word out of me. They would ask me questions, and I would look to the ground and look at my shoes. Very autistic. And um, when we got picked up there, right? Because he told his mom, "Oh, we walked here after the event was finished," which was a lie. And we're sitting in the car, dude, and I won't shut up, dude.
You keep
I will
talking.
not shut up. I
Uh,
was just talking, and they're like, the parents are laughing because they're like, "Why is Mikey talking like this? He never talks. You can't get a word out of him." And now I'm commenting on everything that's being said.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, like, obviously they figured it out. Oh, they're drunk. These great kids in grade six are wasted. And like she even brought us hot chocolate and stuff.
Yeah,
She said,
that's
"I'm
true.
not going to tell your mom."
Oh, she said that.
Obviously, because yeah, because it reflects badly on them as
Of
well.
course, of course.
You
Like, were you
know,
saying my kids came to your place and now they're drunk, so how'd they get the booze? It's obviously your fault as a parent. Um, Dude, that reminds me of this. Basically, a year later, grade 9, I went to I was invited. I'm not going to mention names because I don't know if they're ready to share these stories or not. But it was quite innocent. They were like, but it was somewhere in Dumonte side or something, right? So like the back of yeah. Anyway, a
and and
new area, a new suburb, and they were like, "Yo, um, come through to the house, right? We're having like a little get together." I get there. It's a dry get together. Right now, I haven't had a lot of experience with parties and booze, but I did have that one experience I told you about when I was 14. And I was like, guys, this is kind of boring. Like, let's get a few ciders or something, right? And we got cash together, and I was like, I know where we can get ciders. Morning Star, Evening Star, sorry,
the star.
the Star. And which is trippy because we obviously didn't live in there, but it was like the ghetto in the suburb. And yeah, dude, I just, me, I'm not scared of walking. I walked there to 14. I knew that there was like a gate or somewhere where you can get it, right? Or I think I even went straight into the shebeen. Person must have known like this is a kid, whatever, right? Because you're black, they tend to be like, I can't tell, I'm not sure, but like this
Yeah,
guy definitely
but
looks.
they sell it to you
They
anyways.
sell
Like
it to you
it's just
anyway.
like you're not gonna get in trouble. Like no parents are gonna pull up there. You sold
Yeah,
this to my kid.
exactly. It's a shebeen in the first place. It's probably legal. And you go there, get like maybe it was 5, 6 of these 750 ml ciders. I think it was Reds or something. Go back
Oh, the
to
red.
yeah. That was
Yo.
perfect because it's still sweet, and and I get
Or
back
you get the
there
Smirnoff.
or Smirnoff. I think that was I can't remember exactly, but one thing I remember is Reds. And get back to this house and we start having a few drinks and now I'm drunk there and I had a crush at the time on this girl and I start like confessing my love to this chick and dude it was just so funny
A
man
huge
like
mistake.
yeah of course but you know how it is man when you're 14 15 like you're not you know how it is man I don't know socially awkward suddenly you've got liquid courage in you um Plus, you're the guy who arranged the booze because, like, no, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, just fun, interesting times, man.
Dude, when we were, think about this, like when we would go and buy booze, and obviously we were underage, uh, you would always go in and by yourself. I would like go hide on some street corner somewhere, like as far as I can from the place.
Yeah,
And then I
dude.
always remember looking at you, like, did you get? Did you get? And then you just like the stoic look forward and then like the little nod. And I'm like,
Yeah, like let's
yes,
get
I
out of
win.
here. Like, just
Yeah,
let's
you just
do.
like walking ahead, but it would always work.
But dude, what was wrong
Uh,
with me? That's the thing. Like, no one taught me this. Like, what is wrong with me that I
you would
just
always get us the booze, dude.
looking
Always.
for mischief, bro? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't
Dude,
know.
wherever we went, the bag on the back, there's a brandy or something and a Coca Cola.
Just praying that the cops don't stop us because, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all not
Because I
allowed.
remember what happened at that time. There was like a huge fallout with me, and it's interesting you say that because I was in grade 8 when you were in grade 9.
Yeah,
And that's when we like started, even maybe, no, I don't think it was grade 7, but it could easily be,
I think it was
I
grade. I
don't,
think it was grade 9. Like, yeah, and
when you were
maybe
in
we
grade
don't know.
9.
We could be. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
thing is, I don't know the timelines
yeah,
because remember, you went with me to youth, right?
yeah,
Remember where we met her,
yeah, 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 yeah,
who
yeah.
shall not be
Yeah, 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 yeah.
renamed.
I remember.
Now, to me, that reminds me of grade 7,
No, we
where
were
you were
definitely
in grade
already.
8.
No, we were teenagers. We were teenagers. That's
No,
why
no,
we
but
would hang out with them.
remember, grade 7 is teenage. Grade 7 is like 13, 14.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, and I don't remember going to that place when I was in grade 8. But, we would go there and we would like smoke cigarettes and stuff. But, anyways, there was a big fallout. And I was always in these big, big friend groups uh, ever since I was a kid. I'd have a lot of friends. I remember they would come to my place and it would be like Mikey's friends or yeah. And my
Mm,
parents would have to get boxes and boxes of pizza and stuff to feed everyone. And there was like a big falling out with a girl and like actual gangsters, like legitimate, like how you are at my school, who came and threatened me. I took a couple of punches myself, and it was just it was a necessary experience to break away from. Oh, like I can't. When it's interesting where life will do that thing to you where it knows you're supposed to go off on your own, but you
mm,
keep sticking to the group for like
mm.
safety. And then it's like consciousness itself will kick you out. Some event will take place that will force you out, you know?
Yeah,
And so I was like, I was embarrassed, in front of the people who I was friends with. Like years before all these other kids were here, we were friends. And you just allow all this stuff to happen to me. Um, and then that's when you sort of arrived. And then you were like showing me a different side of life. Like,
complete note of
nah,
bad, rotten
there's things
apple.
happening. There's things happening here in the neighborhood. And yeah, just come with me. And then we go walk, and I just start seeing this other side of life that had been there under my nose. And I remember one of my friends, because then we started going to house parties, and we've had this topic before, so I don't need to go into it too much. But there was a freedom that we had, where we would climb through your window to get back into the room. You know, it's like your parents are there. We tell them, oh yeah, everybody, we're going to bed, and then we
Yeah.
wait, and then we jump out the window, and we go to a house party, and we're gone for like early
Hours,
hours of the
bro.
morning,
Yeah.
and then we come climbing back into the room, you know.
Uh, that
So
was the
we were
best.
doing that stuff, and those friends that I had weren't doing that. And so when they would come around, they were like, "Oh, I've got to tell my caretaker, parent, whoever was guardian who's looking after them. Oh, I've got to tell them that we're walking to this house that's on the other side of the road to go to this party."
Like,
And I
what?
remember in that very moment, I looked at the situation and I was like, ah, I'm like, I've gone beyond where you are.